Screw Nation Building: Why the Trump Base Loves John Bolton. David Reaboi, an anti-Islamist senior vice president at the Security Studies Group, a group known for its obsession with creeping Sharia law, has known John Bolton for years. But even he was surprised when Donald Trump appointed Bolton to be National Security Advisor, ousting HR McMaster and placing the former UN ambassador and undersecretary of state, who fervently supported the Iraq War and wistfully recommends nuking Kim Jong Un, in one of the most critical security posts in the country. I thought that Bolton wouldn't get it because I thought James Mattis would put up more resistance than he actually did, he told me. And indeed, Bolton's foreign policy transgressions would upset the delicate status quo. He has criticized attempts to resolve the Israel-Palestine crisis, openly insulted the United Nations, suggested the U.S. launch preemptive strikes against Iran, and expressed his desire to gut the State Department beyond Rex Tillerson's fervent Deloitte-ification. Trump, of course, didn't seem to care. Bolton and Trump should be an odd pairing, given that Trump campaigned as an isolationist and has expressed nothing but contempt for U.S. military adventurism in Iraq and Afghanistan. When Bolton's name surfaced as a possible contender for Secretary of State, shortly after the election, MSNBC's Joe Scarborough was incredulous. "John Bolton is a bigger neocon than Dick Cheney," he said, calling Bolton a creature of the donor class. That sentiment was still simmering in some corners of the pro-Trump blogosphere last month, after Bolton claimed McMaster's job. Trump will be surrounded by military interventionists eager for war and further attempts to reshape the Middle East and North Korea, both disastrous possibilities for American security and prosperity, Gracie Olmstead wrote at The Federalist. Trump's die-hard supporters, however, couldn't care less. Bolton is anti-establishment and an unabashed American nationalist, and he has been openly since his floor speeches at the UN since 2006, said Jack Posobiec, a MAGA cheerleader who has hyped Bolton since the election, salivating at the prospect of Bolton gutting the entrenched bureaucracy and using his decades of political experience to turn nebulous Trump's foreign policy vision into reality. Bolton is perhaps the only Washington policy veteran who might endorse Trump's refrain that America should have kept the Iraq soil. At the pro-TrumpTownhall.com, multiple columns celebrated Bolton's elevation, and, perhaps most important, the precipitation of liberal tears. Among the several ways to judge a person's fitness for office are the enemies he has made, columnist Cal Thomas wrote, listing the three groups that Trumpists love triggering the most: liberals, neocons, and anti-Trump Republicans. Within the strange logic of Trump world, that makes Trump and Bolton an ideological match. While Bolton cheered the invasion of Iraq, he never cared much for nation building, democracy promotion, or any of the other putatively liberal values that greased Washington for the Iraq War. Bolton is a hawk, but a hawk who's not necessarily into nation building or playing well with other countries, said Matt Welch, editor-at-large at the Libertarian Reason magazine, who got to know Bolton through years of television appearances and green room meetings. "It's a screw nation building, let's go bust them up and then go home mentality," Welch explained. "It's sort of this irascible, I don't want to say America first because that has connotations, but it's a very unilateralist kind of vision." Trump and Bolton are probably more alike from a dispositional, philosophical standpoint than most people appreciate. Kim Foster, a harsh Bolton critic and the former host of Fox Business's The Independents, added, "I don't and oppose T think he's likely to turn Trump into a neocon, because I don't think the guy's really that much of a neocon himself." Indeed, to Bolton's fans in MAGA land, his aggressive disdain for hopey-changey thinking is a revelation. The default neocon position over the last 15 years is that all human beings yearn for freedom, Reaboi said, enumerating the many attempts during the Bush and Obama years to promote democracy in autocratic states. Bolton, on the other hand, espouses what Reaboi called cynical realism, the utter rejection of decadent notions like universal